I mean, let's just talk about the Warriors. Like you always like to say, only one place to start, and it's got to be with them. I mean, we've got to embrace the return of the dynasty. Well, let me start out with this, and this is what shook me, Ron, when I read this. The Warriors have clinched a final spot 6 out of the last 8 years, and that feels so weird to say because those 2 years have felt so long. I mean, you got COVID, you have so much player movement, just the way the landscape of the NBA has changed is unbelievable. But to really think about that, 6 times in the last 8 years, that really sinks in. That I mean, let's think about it. I mean, this is still a dynasty that exists when you look at it, when you zoom out and you talk about this 15 years from now. We're going to quickly forget, the COVID year, the bubble championship, and we're going to remember again that this is one of the greatest teams of all time.
It's like I keep seeing on social media, it is eerily similar to the Bulls of the 90s. And they had those 3 years. MJ goes out and then they're back again for 3 more years. It's kind of similar. They had a lot of injuries. Clay was down for those 2 years. Curry had a year out. And now they could be back in a position where they're ready to go on and be very much a competitor, at least for the next probably 2 or 3 years, at least, if not longer, with some of the young crop that they have coming in to replace some of the guys who may be on the way out in maybe another 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, now that you mention it, I do want to, since we're talking big picture, I do want to talk about that. But we'll definitely get to talking about what's happened over the course of the series and the playoffs as well for the Warriors. But that's a kicker here, dude. It's like they've been patient. They've kept their draft picks, which was hugely controversial because if we remember, as Clay is hurt walking off the court, Kevin Durant is hurt, Green looks like a shadow of himself, and actually the Warriors Stadium, Oracle Arena, is going away. It all just felt like a goodbye party. And the way that they've been patient in retooling and keeping their draft picks, these young guys, I think, they don't even have to be stars in a way. I mean, look at what they've done with Poole, how patient they've been with Jordan Poole. These guys are going to extend their window by so much just with the energy that they'll bring alongside Curry and Thompson. You saw it in brief moments. I actually thought it was pretty cheeky of Steve Kerr to throw in both Moody and Kuminga at the same time. And I think that's what ultimately gave Dallas their one win of this series. I think it's a sweep. It's a sweep if those two guys don't go in. But these minutes are going to be so important for those guys. And Moody finally got into a bit of a groove in this game, game 5. But I think Kuminga too. I mean, the potential he's shown throughout the playoffs, his physicality, his versatility, his defense, his shooting potential, his rim run. Like, he just does so many things on the court. And I think a lot of this comes down to, how healthy is Draymond. It's clear that without him, that's a key factor in why everything works the way they do. But they're set up to be successful for, I agree with you. I mean, 2 to 4 years. I mean, I see Steph still doing what he's doing at this age. Klay Thompson, I mean, it looks fantastic right now. I don't see that taking any major changes unless obviously another injury comes back. But man, it's when you zoom out, when you look forward, this team looks like they've never left.
Yeah, no, it's exactly like that. And that's I don't know if I want to respect it or just be scared that it's still that it's
or
still
mad.
around.
Are you mad at it all over again? Has the Warriors hate gone away in a way, like because there was definitely just this palpable, it wasn't the same as the hate for LeBron and the Heat. It wasn't that same sort of villain identity, but there definitely came like a lack of respect. Like, oh, you guys are just, I mean, it's not fair what you guys have done.
Oh yeah, of course.
Has that gone away?
When you have the greatest regular season record of all time, and then add Kevin Durant to that, I mean, unless you're a Warriors fan, you are going to be hating on that big time. But I definitely think it's nowhere near at that level now, and people are are coming back and they're starting to appreciate it more. They're even starting to, you could even argue they're starting to appreciate Kerr as a coach more and just respect the way that they've stayed patient and waited to get this team back. Everyone thought this unit was done, this core group of players was finished, but they remained patient and they brought it back. They got it going again this year, and they're in the NBA finals again. So I think people are just starting to just take their hats off, just say major, major respect to the way the Warriors played this. Everyone questioned it up until this season, but they were absolutely right. It's really, really impressive.
Thanks for watching Coast to Coast on YouTube. For full episodes, check out the show wherever you get your podcasts. And for all the best hot takes, subscribe to the Coast to Coast YouTube channel below.